Dear Para-Dressage friends, I am Bettina Daram, the FEI Para-Dressage Director, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the FEI campus, our one-of-the-kind education tool regularly updated with new, interesting and exciting content. Today I'm going to guide you through the amendments to the FEI Para-Dressage rules effective 1st of January 2019, which were approved at the General Assembly in Bahrain last November. The first article we're going to speak about is article number 8422.1.4 about conditions of participation. We have here made an amendment for purpose of clarification. We now clearly list the athletes which will need a classification before the draw. Those athletes are the new athletes classified, athletes with review grade status or review with fixed review date status where the date has passed. Next article is article 8422.4, again conditions of participation. This is a clarification for para-athletes who compete in able-body dressage. As previously, and as per the article 8428 and the FEI para-equestrian classification rules, athletes have all approved compensating aids listed on the master list. Any compensating aids on the master list or that are listed in the list of standard compensating aids allowed for athletes may all be used in the FEI dressage competitions. So now the rules read as following. Athletes with an impairment are allowed to compete in FEI dressage competitions using compensating aids according to the FEI classification master list and standard compensating aids allowed for athletes as defined by the para-equestrian dressage rules and subject to the approval of the FEI. The athletes no longer need to send in applications beforehand. Everything goes as per these two lists. Next article is article number 8423.1.2 about invitations and entries. The rule here is to specify that the team and individual tests are open to all athletes. In addition, the Para-Equestrian Technical Committee agreed also that all athletes should ride both individual and team tests in 3-star events. And so we have replaced is open to all with to be ridden by all athletes. So the rule now reads 3-star events. Each event will comprise of 3 dressage tests for each of the 5 grades of athletes as follows. First test, the team test, to be ridden by all athletes. Second test, the individual test, to be ridden by all athletes as well. No change for the freestyle test. Next article is article number 8425.1 about the draw for the starting order. As there is no longer an athlete's representative at all competition, the reference to the athlete's representatives had to be removed from this article. And in addition, the technical committee agreed that the chief steward should be included at the meeting where there is a pre-draw which is presented. This is now as following in the article. There must be a separate draw for each grade 1 to 5 competition conducted in order of the competition. For CPEDI 3-star and below, it is recommended that the draw is prepared in advance by the organizer and the president of the ground jury. It shall be published and represented at a meeting that includes the president or member of the ground jury, the chief steward and the chef d'équipes. Next article is article number 8427.3 about the dress. For safety reasons, the following has been added to the athletes at the end of the article. We say that the headgear must be properly in place and securely fastened. This article is again about the dress, article number 8427.5. We've updated the article here to allow any colors for the athletes' jackets, plain colors. The committee decided that this would update the sport and make it more attractive for spectators, as well as allowing athletes to show some more personality in their presentation. We look forward to see a bit more color in the ring. This article was also updated to remove different duplicates. I will let you read it in detail to see what is now allowed and not allowed. Again about dress, still the same article, but number 8427.4. The color of the boots has also been updated to align with the changes made in the previous article. So now this article says, black or dark color boots or stout riding shoes with heels must be worn. Plain black or dark colored half chaps or gaiters to the knee may be used. This is instead now of black or brown only. The next article, still the same number, 8427.7, about the dress. A section in this article was removed as the information is now fully covered by the Code of Conduct of the Welfare for the Horses. This is also to do with the spurs, where we now say that spurs are optional as a standard compensating aid. Spurs must be made of metal. The shank must be either curved or straight, pointed directly back from the center of the spurs when the athlete's boots. Spurs must not be offset unless allowed as a non-standard compensating aid. Here again we refer to the list we referred to earlier. Article number 8428 about saddlery. Here there have been major changes in this article. And also, to align with the FEI dressage rules, the saddlery and equipment article have now been fully updated to clearly state what is and is not allowed in terms of saddlery. The fixed images were causing confusions as to whether small modifications were allowed or not. This update here will allow all equipment which adheres to the wording which is allowed to use in competition, and not only those that are exactly the same as the images. We've kept the images in an annex, which has been added at the back of the rulebook, to show examples of saddlery which are permitted for use in the FEI paradressage competitions. The articles concerning compensating aids were also updated to be more clearly defined, and the standard compensating aids were named standard and profile-specific compensating aids to make 3 clear types of aids. I will let you go through the whole article on saddlery, which is quite long, and I hope you will find everything you need there as information. Now we go to next article, number 8429.6.1, about the arena and exercise areas. Again, to align with the FEI dressage rules, this article was introduced to allow judges to communicate easily between each other in case of blood, lameness, error of course, or any equipment issues during a dressage test. So we've added the next wording. For FEI championships and games, each judge's hut must be equipped with a button linked to the judge's signaling system, allowing each judge to discreetly inform the judge at sea in case of blood, lameness, error of course, or equipment. A judge's signaling button is optional for all other events. This has proven to work really well in dressage in terms of communication between the judges and making a fair decision. Next article, article number 8429.6.2. Again, this has also been introduced to align with the dressage rules and to clarify exactly who is allowed in the judges' huts. The new wording now says, only officiating people, in brackets to include officials fulfilling promotion requirements, are allowed in the judges' huts. Any request for exceptions must be made in advance to the president of the ground jury and must be included in the foreign judge report. The next article is article number 8429.10 about the arena and exercise areas. Athletes with a vision impairment are allowed to request to train and warm up alone. Previously, the rules only stated that they could train alone. We have now added the fact that they can also warm up alone. Going to next article, article number 8430.9.2 about the execution of the tests. This article has had a phrase added to clarify where athletes with high support needs can have outside help from a representative. So the following sentence has been added to the article. The athlete may again be accompanied by around the outside arena after they have finished their test. Only in case of danger, they may be accompanied from the inside arena, otherwise they would be considered as unauthorized assistance and must result in elimination. Next article is article number 8430.11.4, again about the execution of the tests. Here we've added a clarification which was needed to state who makes the decision in case of a horse being eliminated due to blood. Therefore, at the end of the article, we've added the following. The decision of the President of the Ground Jury, based on the recommendation of the FEI veterinarian, is not subject to appeal. The next article we're going to speak about is article number 8430.13.3 about commanders and callers. This article was updated as it was recently decided that all athletes who have a commander or caller on the master list are allowed now to use a headset in all tests. We have now scratched from this article the fact that they were not allowed to do so. Next article number is 8430.14.1 under Other Outside Assistance. This article was updated to allow that some authorized outside assistant is allowed, as per article number 8430.9.2, and also to clarify that the sanction for unauthorized assistant is elimination. So the new wording now is, any other unauthorized outside assistance or intervention, including coaching by voice, signs, etc., will result in elimination by the President of the Ground Jury or the judge at sea. Next article number is article number 8435 about the calculation and publishing of results. This article now has been updated to align also with a proposed suggestion in the dressage rule, which has been approved, and to explain clearly how marks are calculated. I will let you read this article in detail. I would just like to point out that there's a small calculation error, but the whole way the calculation is made is correct. We'll make sure that this small error is corrected for next year, and we apologize for this. Now we go to next article, article number 8438.1.1, about the foreign technical delegate. Here we've made an update to clearly show that the foreign technical delegate is appointed for championships by the FEI, not by the organizing committee, and that foreign technical delegates are no longer used in lower level events. Next article is article number 8439 about classifiers. Throughout 2018, the Para-Technical Committee trialled having classification events at only nominated events, rather than at all events as happened until 2017. This was to try and reduce some cost for organizers. However, not having classifiers and classification at all events proved to cause many problems for review athletes and non-competing athletes who required observation assessment. Therefore, the committee agreed that as so many complications arose concerning athletes' classification, and that as this is such an important part of the sport, that classification should be reintroduced at all events in 2019. This is now also outlined in this article. Next article is article number 8443.1.4 up to 1.6 about stewards. The number of FEI certified stewards was deemed to be too low, and the technical committee has decided to raise the minimum amount of certified FEI stewards at para-dressage events. Therefore, now at championships and games, the FEI will appoint 1 level 3 chief stewards, and at least 3 level 1 stewards or higher must be appointed by the organizer in addition. At CPEDI's 1 level 2 chief steward must be appointed by the organizers, and at least 2 level 1 or above must be appointed by the organizers. Which is also very important about the number of stewards is that according to the size of and the type of the event, a sufficient number of stewards must be appointed by the organizer in consultation with his chief steward prior to the event. Now we go to Annex 7 about the Codex for Para-Equestrian Judges. There's a wording here that has been added by the technical committee to align with the system in FEI dressage competitions, whereby the judging panel must meet after the competition to discuss any differences in scores with more than 5% difference. This should be accompanied by video at high-level events as well. Video should also be used in championships and games to review scores where necessary, and it is recommended at CPI 3-star and below. So the new wording now says, The president of the grand jury and or the competition foreign judge must meet with judges for evaluation when the total result differs more than 5% during a test. The meeting must take place within 24 hours after the competition and with video of the concerned athlete-horse combinations for championships and games. Video is however recommended for CPDI 3-star and below. Now we go to Annex 10 about the compensating aids summary. Annex 10 was added to the FEI para-dressage rules so that the table summarizing compensating aids is visible. This table clearly states which aids are allowed to be used by which athletes and whether or not they should be stated on the master list. I suggest that you go and see in detail this Annex 10. Annex 11 is about the per diems. Again here, to align with the dressage, the per diems are no longer a short article in Annex 4, but have been set out clearly now in this annex on their own. The wording says, per diem for judges, technical delegate, classifiers and stewards. A per diem of €100 per day is recommended. The per diem is due for all officiating days. There are more details about judges again in Annex 7, and for the veterinarians, you should go and read the veterinary regulations. So now we've done with all the amendments to the articles. And please be informed that this year we have created a short quiz about the rules changes for 2019. You will find the quiz in the para-dressage portal on FEI campus. We highly recommend that you take the quiz in order for you to make sure that you have understood the main amendments. The FEI para-dressage rules, effective 1st of January 2019, can be found on our website, fei.org, on the FEI para-dressage rule page. Have you ever taken time to go through the horsemanship portal on FEI campus? I encourage you to do so. You will find very interesting and useful information, and new top knowledge courses are being published regularly. Thank you so much for having taken the time to watch this video, and don't hesitate to invite your colleagues and friends to do the same. We look forward to seeing you compete, officiate or attend our para-dressage events this year. And finally, always keep in mind that horse welfare is first. Thank you very much.